were 4 sentences. That was the whole method.
Please continue. The experiment requires you to continue. It is absolutely essential that you continue. You have no other choice but to continue.
"65% of them went to the end." Every idea about the mind was learned from somebody. This is who. In July 1961, a trial ended in Jerusalem, and an experiment began at Yale. The man who ran the experiment was 27 years old, an assistant professor, 3 years out of his doctorate. His question was about the people who had operated the trains and the ovens. Were they unusual or were they available? He advertised in the local paper for volunteers. Slow, a study of memory, $4.50 for the bus. "40 men answered. Not one of them was told what was being studied. Here is what a volunteer walked into. 2 rooms, 1 wall between them, and 3 people.
You will read the word pairs. If he answers wrongly, you will administer a shock. The shocks increase by 15 volts each time.
The man in the gray coat was not a scientist. He was a biology teacher, playing a part.
And the other one, the man being strapped in.
Also an actor. And here is the part that matters most, and almost nobody says it out loud. His cries were on tape, recorded in advance, played on cue, identical for every volunteer. The first shocks are small. 15 volts, 30, 45. The voice through the wall is only annoyed.
That one was uncomfortable. Go on.
At 150 volts, the script changes, and it changes in a specific way.
My heart is bothering me. I told you about my heart. Let me out of here.
Blue box. Nice day. Wild duck.
I will not go on. Huh. You have no right to keep me here.
This is the only warning the volunteer is given, and it comes from the person he believes he is hurting.
He says he has a heart condition. Should I be going on with this?
Here is the decision the whole experiment rests on, not the volunteer's decision. The answer he is given.
Please continue.
He wants to stop. You heard him ask.
The experiment requires you to continue.
At 300 volts, he stops answering the questions and pounds on the wall. At 315, he goes quiet.
He isn't answering. Somebody should look at him.
It is absolutely essential that you continue.
I don't want to. I am telling you I don't want to.
You have no other choice but to continue.
Notice what is not in those sentences. No threat. No punishment. Nothing but the statement that there is no alternative. For 50 years, that was the story. 4 sentences. Ordinary men, 65%. Then a researcher went to the Yale archive and listened to the tapes. Not the learner's tape. The recordings of the sessions themselves. The 4 sentences were not the whole method. When a volunteer would not move, the experimenter kept talking.
There is no permanent tissue damage. I take full responsibility. The shocks may be painful, but they are not dangerous.
None of that is on the list of 4. It was improvised, session by session, and it worked. And the design itself had been tuned. 5 versions, adjusted until the obedience rate came out as high as it would go. So where does 65% come from? It comes from one condition. 40 men, 26 of them to the end. It is a real measurement, and it happened. It is also the highest result out of roughly 24 variations, produced by the version that had been adjusted the most. And there is one variation almost nobody quotes. When volunteers were told plainly that the shocks were dangerous, they stopped. Which means the thing producing obedience was not the authority in the room. It was the reassurance the authority kept giving. The first cost belonged to the volunteers. They were told eventually that they had tortured nobody.
Then what was I doing with my hand on that switch for an hour? Nobody was hurt. That is what they keep saying to me.
The second belonged to the man who built it. Harvard would not give him tenure. He moved to New York. He died in 1984 of his 5th heart attack. He was 51. And the third cost is ours, and it is still running. We kept the number and threw away the conditions. 65% became a fact about human beings instead of a result from one tuned afternoon. He wanted to know whether ordinary people would follow instructions they did not agree with. He found out. He was one of them. That is who we learned it from.